The stranger at the gas station handed me his car keys and said, "Drive this to the address in the glove box. Don't stop for anyone." I was filling up my truck at 2 a.m. when this guy stumbled out from behind the pumps, blood on his shirt, hands shaking. He pressed the keys into my palm before I could react. "The address. Go now. They're 5 minutes behind me." Then he collapsed against the ice machine. I stood there frozen until headlights appeared on the highway, moving fast. "Go!" he screamed. I ran to the black sedan, hands trembling as I started the engine. The glove box had one thing inside, a sticky note with an address 20 miles north. As I pulled onto the road, I heard it, a small voice from the back seat. "Are we safe yet?" I nearly crashed. A little boy, maybe 6 years old, was curled up under a blanket. His eyes were red from crying. "Who are you?" I asked. "I'm Benji. The nice man said you'd take me to my mom." The headlights behind me were getting closer. 2 vehicles now. I floored it while trying to stay calm for the kid. "Benji, who was chasing you?" "The bad people. They took me from school." My blood went cold. This wasn't some custody dispute. This was a kidnapping. And somehow that stranger had gotten Benji away from them. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered on speaker. "Pull over and leave the car running. Walk away and nothing happens to you." The voice was calm, practiced. "I don't know what you're talking about. You have something that belongs to us. That boy is worth a lot of money to certain people. Don't be a hero." I hung up. Benji was crying again. They said they'd hurt my mom if I screamed. I reached back and squeezed his hand. "Nobody's hurting anyone tonight." The GPS said 15 minutes to the address. The cars behind me said I had maybe 10. I took back roads, killed my headlights on the stretches I knew from high school. The sedan handled better than I expected, taking curves I shouldn't have attempted. Benji stayed quiet, watching the mirrors like he'd learned to. "The nice man?" I said. "What was his name?" "Derek. He worked at the place they kept me. He gave me extra food when nobody was looking." So Derek wasn't a random stranger. He was inside their operation and risked everything to get this kid out. The cars split up behind me. One went left at the fork, the other stayed on my tail, gaining ground. My phone rang again. Same number. "Last chance. That address you're heading to? We know it too. You're driving him right back to us." I hung up again, but my hands were shaking now. What if they were right? What if this whole thing was a trap? I pulled over a mile from the destination and called 911. Gave them everything. The address, the cars following me, Benji's name. "Stay on the line, sir." "I can't. They're coming." I could see headlights approaching from both directions now. They'd boxed me in. I grabbed Benji and we ran into the woods beside the road. He was so light, so small. We crouched behind a fallen tree as both cars stopped near the sedan. 4 men got out. Flashlights swept the trees. He took the kid into the woods. Split up. Benji buried his face in my shoulder. I covered his mouth gently, feeling his tears soak through my shirt. Footsteps crunched closer. A flashlight beam passed inches from our hiding spot. Then sirens. Multiple sirens, getting louder fast. The men froze. "Cops, move!" They scrambled back to their cars, but blue lights were already blocking the road. I watched them get surrounded, hands raised, shouting about lawyers. An officer found us 20 minutes later. Benji wouldn't let go of my arm. At the station, we learned the address in the glove box was a safe house run by a detective named Wallace, who'd been building a trafficking case for 8 months. Derek was his informant. The men who took Benji were part of a ring that had grabbed 6 kids across 3 states. Derek had sent Benji out with the only person he could find at that gas station. Me, a random guy filling up his truck at 2 a.m. "Why me?" I asked Detective Wallace. "Derek said you looked like someone who wouldn't just drive away." Benji's mom arrived at sunrise. She collapsed when she saw him, sobbing his name over and over. Benji looked at me from her arms and waved. I waved back, crying like an idiot in a police station lobby. Derek survived his injuries. The ring got dismantled. All 6 kids went home. I still drive past that gas station sometimes and think about Derek choosing me in the dark.